All right, welcome back to the Kingsway Podcast. Excited you are here. I feel like every time I promise an episode, we change the schedule on everyone, so we should just stop doing that.
Yeah.
So we're not doing sports today.
Thank goodness.
We're not. I was hoping that's what we're going to do. I still have it on the docket. I'm in talks with some people. I'm hoping that it's going to come together.
It's so official. Your people are talking to their people.
It's a trade clause, and I have to get full permission.
I don't know what that means.
And a couple of round draft picks, maybe some compensation pizza.
Dude, in chapel last week, what's his name? Jeff Vines from ICOM was there. And he was like using some sports analogy, said something about a flag and so. And I looked over at the person in the video booth with me. I had no idea what any of that meant.
This sports episode is going to be the greatest episode of all time. We're gonna do trivia.
Patrick Mahomes. That's all. Wait.
Yeah.
No, I can't remember that guy's name. Never mind.
Okay, I was gonna say, do you got any others?
Who's the guy in the insurance commercials with Brad Paisley?
Did
he play for the Broncos?
You're
impressed, aren't you?
Did he paint houses?
Is that a hint?
He is sure man.
I don't want to give it to you now. It's in my head now, but I don't want to give it to you. Peyton Manning, okay?
That was fun. See, that's a preview right there. There we are. Woo, we got there. Oh, man, that's awesome. All right, well, today, before we get to our main topic, which is going to be top 10 songs, personal favorite top 10.
That's an important thing to mention. Because
I think the distinction is that I will say that I have the largest and stupidest gambit of songs in my mind right now. So I'm just like, this is going to be a song list that definitely will make you angry. And also probably at times go, you're a child of the 90s, aren't you? Yes,
I am pretty interested to hear yours because I feel like in all the time working with you, there are just random moments where you'll pull out a song where I'm like, I know that band, but I've never heard that song in my life. And like,
dude, yep.
And it's not even that they're like, what's the word I want? Not mainstream, like hipster songs or anything. Mm-hmm. It's just that nobody cares.
Why would you care about that song? Yep. Partly it's because I'm a pastor's kid, and so my songs were like hidden, and then half the time were just radio. That's all it was because I didn't ever own CDs.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. Before we do though, we do our weekly kind of check-in when you're here on your viewership of The Chosen.
Yeah, I feel like we need to come up with a jingle for that.
Yes.
Weekly Chosen update.
Hey, that was pretty good. I like it. Oh yeah, I was gonna do the Jed and Chosen in the morning.
It's 3 p.m, bro.
Sorry. The afternoon doesn't rhyme. Jed and Chosen at 3. No, this doesn't work. So how has The Chosen been? If you haven't watched any of the podcasts before, you would know this, but Jed has slowly been working through this Chosen Christian series on the life of Jesus and kind of the chosen as part of the disciples. Mm-hmm. Where are you at? We left off. You were like episode 3 or something, or 2.
I had watched more than that. I think last time I had watched.
It was Peter. That's what I remember.
The first 4 episodes, I think.
Okay,
maybe 5.
Because it was when Peter got called, right? And he did the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
I finished it last night. I started. What there 8 episodes? So I started episode 7 at like 11:30, and then I had to finish it. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was done.
So now that you've had a chance, what is this, like 13 hours to think about it?
Yeah. It was, I think, the most like the quickest I've had a reaction to any of it so far. Because I don't know. I think this one was the easiest for me to criticize. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of positives, but a couple of
give me the negatives. Yeah.
First of all,
not perfect. I didn't claim it was.
They skipped the first cleansing of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Some people say there's only one. It happened at the last Passover.
I was gonna say it's the theological. That's a theological decision.
But I think for me, this show hasn't been as much an accurate telling of the gospel story as it has been an adaptation and a good story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would have been a better story choice for them to include that Passover. I do personally believe that there were two cleansing of the temple.
I don't know where I stand. I haven't done enough research, but I trust you.
Yeah, but that's what I think. And it's not a big deal if someone says there's only one. I'm not like mad at them.
Oh, you're mad. I'm
angry.
Okay, so that's your big critique.
But that's a big one. Is I do think it would have made, because it sets up.
I didn't even have that on my radar.
Well.
I didn't even have that. But you're in Bible college right now.
It's true.
And you're probably thinking about.
And I wrote a paper on that last year.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. So you're like it was really important.
Yeah.
Check the addendums in my.
No, I do think it would have made story sense though.
I agree,
because it sets up Nicodemus so well.
Mm-hmm.
It gives him a chance. But I do think they've set up Nicodemus really well up to that point already.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would have just made
over the edge.
That moment a little better, because he would have then had that clear divinity claim of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have been able to see some Pharisee and Sadducee reaction and some.
Yeah.
It just would have
rather
been,
than it being a little bit more behind the scenes or in subtle conversations.
Yeah.
I agree. Now they've left a lot out just to like say. That wasn't just like they were like, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if it was just that, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
There are some things they left out.
Honestly, I don't know. It may seem like a more minor complaint, but
hey, this is your show at this point.
To me, it feels pretty big. The moment when Nicodemus and Jesus are talking on the rooftop at night, overall, an incredible scene. It was so well done. But then you start seeing Nicodemus's really emotional reaction to his conversation with Jesus. And these really cheesy, over-the-top choir vocals come in. And it's like,
I didn't hear those at all.
It took me out.
I didn't hear it at all. I didn't hear it at all.
What in the world? Like, it was just so dramatic and cheesy. And it was unnecessary. Yeah. Because if it need to be there, maybe some soft strings or even just silence would have been really impactful.
I didn't even hear it. Like, I haven't even heard it at all.
So
they won me over. But like
I was saying, overall, like that scene, I think whenever you read that moment in John 3, it can just be just this interaction, just like very businesslike, and you have to be reborn. And what do you mean reborn? It just seems like this really simple back and forth. But then the way they portrayed this in the show, where it's like this man's whole theology and way of life and everything is being ripped apart.
His marriage, like everything. Like
and so his emotional reaction, almost breakdown in this moment, makes sense. And it's powerful.
Dude, and we talked about before, they're painting with color.
Yeah.
You didn't like some of the color, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
I
happens,
get it.
It's not just, it happens in every, the reason I think it stands out so much in this show particularly is because I think Christian media has just that.
Well, they're behind.
That connotation.
They're not starting at an even place. When you watch the show, you're not like expecting great. You're like prove that you're worthy of my time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's the negatives. Yeah. I mean,
I'll have one more negative.
Oh, one more. Oh gosh. All right. Keep going.
Yes. I have problems with the way they portrayed everything with the woman at the well, which is where they end the last.
You didn't like the
last episode. Again, the interaction between her and Jesus actually at the well, I really liked the way they set her up as like, and I feel like I have a lot to explain in this particular reaction, because
they make some assumptions.
It makes sense that she would be this pariah type figure in her village, because she has had 5 husbands. Living with a man who's not her husband right now,
and won't release her.
Yes, yeah,
and her old husband won't release her to marry this man.
Yeah,
okay, that's the way it portrays her, which isn't necessarily in the text.
No. Which I'm okay with that. Yeah, like okay. I like that kind of just like, again, good adaptation, not just straight black and white text to screen.
Yep.
What I have an issue with is I I wonder how much of a pariah this woman actually was, because it doesn't make sense to me that someone who is an outcast and hated universally in this town, if she comes running into town saying, come see this man, he's told me everything I've ever done. Are they actually going to turn around and go immediately follow this woman to this guy? If they think she's like the worst person in the town and won't look at her, won't talk to her, won't interact with her at all already, why are they following her outside of town to go talk to this guy she just met?
For sure.
And so I feel like they leaned a little too heavily into that and could have done something maybe a little bit different.
I agree with the idea. I think my mind, and not to like, I was just trying to get to like why her character worked so much for me.
Yeah. Overall, it ended up working really well because, again, her one-on-one interaction with Jesus was
and then when the
crazy.
Disciples come back and they're like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Like,
I love Peter.
I
love Peter being like, wait, you told her? It's time?
It's like, what? We're in, dude. Oh, yeah. That's like, he's like, like he thinks we're going to go on a revival. No, I think what worked for me so well is like every woman in that town maybe necessarily didn't want to be her, but wanted the power that she was trying to claim. Because I think this woman had that like rebellious, like, I'm not doing what you say. Like, I'm not just falling in line. I'm not just, and there's a strength in her even when she talks with Jesus of just this, like, she's not like this, like little like mouse of a woman. Yeah. Like she's almost like,
she just assumes everybody is talking down to her. And
like, but she's got this internal strength that you can just tell. She's like, no, the world's not crushing me. I'm just not having a good day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, Jesus is like, yeah, well, no, man, that interaction, the interaction one-on-one through the series was probably my favorite part.
Oh, no doubt.
Everything. Yeah. Anytime Jesus was one-on-one with someone, I would get goosebumps. Like, I'm like, I want one-on-one
I totally
with
get
Jesus.
That.
And there was just, I loved the guy getting laid down from the roof.
That was really good.
And like Matthew trying to see you from across the street, and like just
Matthew. That's one thing that I love. Matthew.
I love Matthew.
I love how you see him and they kind of portray him as maybe being like on the spectrum a little bit. Of just like
it makes
the
sense.
way
He's like calculating
with his hands
things.
and stuff. And it's endearing.
It's incredibly endearing. And the interaction with his mom and like his parents, and like you can just tell she's trying to. I have a kid that's on the spectrum, so the way she even talks about her son, she's like, you just don't understand that's the way his mind works, and like whatever. I'm like, like and like Jesus immediately is like, oh, you're going to be very helpful. Yeah. And he's like, he knows him. He's like, yeah, where were we having it? Your house. Oh, okay. Like, sounds good. Like we're going in. No, I love that so overall you enjoyed it.
I have one question that I would love to have like some research done on it is what are the thoughts of people watching this that don't know?
Yeah. They don't know Jesus.
Like maybe they have some experience in the church. Maybe they've never been to the church. I don't know. But I feel like part of what makes me like it a lot is that I get when they reference things. When they open
non-Christians.
Yeah, when they open the last episode with Jacob on the site digging the well. I understand what's going on, I understand the allusions and the references and the quotes and all this. I get excited when the actor portraying Jesus uses direct quotes, I know.
And when she's like, what is this, Jacob's well? And you're like, yes, we saw him earlier.
And so I kind of wonder if like, if someone watching it who understood nothing, I wonder what they would think about it.
We've got to sound like the biggest nerds.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that.
I just love that you're in the college at like the academia right now, and like the way you're watching it is completely separate from me. Yeah, that's over here just watching it with like a pastoral heart. It's like I just want to hang out with Jesus. I'm like, oh yeah, second temple cleansing. I didn't even think about that. Oh, you're right. Yeah, they just did that. I just didn't really realize that. Like, oh, that's.
I literally had a moment where. It's night and Peter's like, well, let me go with you. Let me go with you to meet Nicodemus. I was like, wait, something's missing here. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, he did not throw any tables over.
What's funny is I was just like, no, Peter, you'll screw it up. Like, that's my thought process.
I do want to see that though, because I want to see if in the show Peter's like, yes, I've been waiting to throw these tables over and like throw stuff at people.
See, and I was more like, I was waiting for the time that Peter's like, get behind me, Satan. You know, like this stuff where it's like, oh goodness, here we go. No, it's I'm excited for season 2. I'm hopeful that they can keep the same tone. I'm grateful to hear that they've got a lot of the same cast back.
Yeah.
And that everything's kind of continuing. Cool. They're filming right now. I don't know if you saw the video of their site that they get to film at.
I didn't know.
Dude, it is so cool. It's way better than they had before.
Nice.
And the directors just said like it was an incredible blessing that they even get a chance to do it. So
that's cool.
Stoked for season 2. So now that we're 20 minutes into
for real,
our top 10 songs, let's get there. Let's just spitball this, okay? And let's just say let's do top. Let's do this. Your bottom 3 songs. Your bottom 3. So 8.
You go first.
8, 9, and 10.
I have a list here. So I went for all of you who would be interested, and I know specifically I'm talking to my sister here. She's probably going to do this immediately. Statsforspotify.com. You go over there and you can see your top tracks for the entirety of your time on Spotify, the last 6 months, the last 4 weeks, as well as top artists. So that's what I did because I knew it would be impossible for me to actually get 10.
Yeah.
So I have like 50 here that I'll just pull from. Half of them are Colony House songs.
Oh, half of them?
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. I will limit you to 3. All right.
That's fair.
I'm gonna do. I'll do 3. So I have a lot of Christian songs and then some non-Christian songs.
Sure.
So in no particular order, my bottom 3. Actually, I'll give them an order.
Do it.
It is Why Georgia at number 8. It is Awake My Soul by Mumford and Son.
Nice. Good one.
And then it is Hold Me by Sean McDonald. Now, Hold Me has a very special personal side. It's when I made the decision to go into ministry. It was the song I was listening when I was praying, and I decided to go into ministry. It's a song that I sang for a long, long time. Yeah. So it's just one of those like, it just has personal reference to it. But Why Georgia and Awake My Soul both just work their way back into. They work into every playlist. I just look. It's one of those that I listened to. Awake My Soul, the Red Rock album by Mumford in Ukraine, and it was the only album I had downloaded, and it was there for weeks. And so, Awake My Soul was almost the song I listened to every morning, like for like 2 weeks. And it's just in there that I was doing what God was calling me to in a socialist country in a very tough time, and kind of embedded itself. Why Georgia was a song that I listened to a ton while I played video games when I was younger, and it just kind of. It was a really good John Mayer song. It's just a really good
John Mayer song. That's true.
So, So there's the bottom 3 for me.
I'm scrambling a little bit.
You're good.
Going for time. Killing time.
Boop, 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 boop.
Okay. Man, because I have so many that pop into my head I have soundtracks that come into my head, and I have right now what I'm listening to a ton of is just like instrumental stuff because I'm studying like 24/7, you know. So let me get back to this, and I'll just choose some randos here.
I was gonna say, just look at your top 10. Give me a couple off your top 10. From the algorithm, not necessarily your list.
I'll start here with a song called Eustace Scrub. Yeah, by an artist called Sarah Sparks, and she wrote a full album of songs inspired by the Chronicles of Narnia. Which, you know, like genre-wise may not be people's favorite. It's kind of like a folky, which I really enjoy. Every once in a while, I'll just go back, listen to the full album a few times. They're fantastic songs, but Eustace Scrub is based on that character turned into a dragon and stuff, and completely transformed and whatnot. Lyrics are just fantastic in that song. Really good.
Yeah.
I'll go with. Oh dang! I can't decide. I don't know why it's number 1, so I'll throw this down here in the bottom 3. It's a song called "Breeze Blocks" by Alt J.
Breeze Blocks.
Yeah. which I think is
we can't do sound clips, but I want to so
Yeah.
bad.
we could. Breeze blocks. I think that's what they call like a cinder block
Okay.
in the UK. The song's nonsensical.
Huh.
The music's super fun. I don't know why it's number one on my all-time top 50 tracks, but it is.
Dude, it's one of those though that it sneaks in there.
Yeah.
And that's it. Okay, so we got two. What was the first one again?
Used to Scrub.
Used to Scrub.
Yeah.
Okay.
For number 3, I'll hit with some Shane and Shane, Psalm 145.
Dude, such
from
a
their
good
Psalms
song,
album.
Dude, that is I play that in the shower all the time because it just makes my soul happy.
Yeah.
And it makes me cry sometimes.
I get that.
Dude, it's so good. If you've never listened to that Psalms album,
it is.
Listen
to the live album for sure.
Yes, their live stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to one of their shows? They did one over here at a church.
Nope.
That had a wooden ceiling that was oval.
Yeah.
And they played in the center of the room. And then the acoustics.
Yeah.
Oh
Really
my
cool.
gosh, man, it was so good. They are incredible together.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not even brothers.
Yeah.
they just act and look like it.
It's true.
Okay, so that's your 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the next 3.
Do it.
Okay.
Sure.
Because I'm stupid like that. I love I have such a weird eclectic thing. This is really hard for me. I'll go number 7, Photograph by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
I just think it is one of the purest forms of a memory, kind of like a folk tale with a pop. I just think it's a beautiful song. It is probably, I mean, it's overplayed on the radio. It's definitely,
no doubt. Yeah.
But it is one of those songs that I feel like in 20 years I'll hear that and I will just wail because I have kids.
Yeah.
Because I will just literally be like, I look at a picture and I'm like, yeah, this is what it's like. Because you just look at a picture and it's like that's gone, but you're here.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. It's incredible storytelling. Every time I hear it, I'm like, that is so stupid. And it's just really, really well done. It really is. John Butler, Trio, Oceans.
Okay.
I just discovered this probably 2 months ago. It is an acoustic instrumental song.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most powerful single person instrumental songs I have ever heard. And I cannot get it out of my head. It's 12 minutes long. And every time I listen to it, it feels like, when you get a good, I don't know if you guys are like this. I know Jed is. A good like soundtrack for a movie. And it just takes you through a whole story.
Oh, yeah.
This song doesn't have a movie.
Yeah.
But it feels like
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh my gosh, just it builds and it swells and the ending feels like it's the ending. Mm-hmm. Like you're like, we've arrived somewhere. And I went nowhere. It was just up and down in I think it's the key of G or like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like the whole anyway, it's a brilliant song. And then Magic Carpet Ride is my
from Aladdin?
No. Steppenwolf.
Oh, no.
You never heard it?
I don't know it.
I like to see. No?
No.
Oh my gosh. Some people are watching this are like, what? It is one of the songs that it's attached to a movie, Sahara, with Steve Vaughn and Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
And it's just it's a great classic, basically 80s, 70s, 80s song. And it is fantastic. Steppenwolf. You'll know it when I play it. You'll literally just know it. It's just a stupid, awesome, like guilty pleasure song. So there's my next 3.
Okay.
Photograph, John Butler, Oceans, and Steppenwolf's Magic Carpet. Magic Carpet Ride.
Magic Carpet Ride. Dang. I'm not content with this.
With this format, you're like, I don't like my algorithm. I don't like it. I don't
really
like my algorithm.
It's true.
Oh, it makes me laugh. I just love it. I will say these middle of range songs are a lot easier than your top 3. You get to that top 1, you're gonna struggle.
Oh no, I have the top 1. That one was easy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, give me another couple.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really not going in like any particular order for this at all, honestly. Dang. Yeah, we'll go with it. We'll go with the Colony House song here.
I was gonna say you have like 25 to choose from.
Yeah. Which one do I want to do though? Oh man. All right, Silhouettes. We'll talk about that one for a second. That song opened their when I was younger.
Silhouettes.
Album. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this really feel good poppy song, but just all about how like you don't see the good without the bad. Like the main line of the song is nothing silhouettes till the lights come on.
Yep. Nothing silhouettes till the lights come on.
Exactly, that's it.
Nothing silhouettes till the lights come on. So come on. Yeah. I love that song.
So it's like you don't understand what's bad until what's good illuminates it. So it's a great song.
And everything's dark until the light shows up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
The thing about Colony House is it's just like they write at me a lot.
Yeah. Well, but I feel like certain artists do hit you that way.
And I agree. They have 3 albums, and there's just, I don't know. I feel like I've said it before. Caleb Chapman, I would argue, is the greatest lyricist alive today.
He's one of them. I would agree. He's a good lyricist.
He's so good.
He's a good
ridiculous.
Lyricist. I actually think. Oh no, I'll get butchered if I say this out
say
loud.
It.
Oh gosh, if I say this out loud, people are gonna destroy me.
You have to then.
No, I don't.
Say it now, please.
I think Taylor Swift is a pretty good lyricist, and I know it's she's pretty good at story writing, but she also steals other people's stuff sometimes. So I can't really say it, but I really enjoy her writing. I don't always enjoy her songs. I'm
gonna throw a full album on.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheating, but I like it.
I like it. Here's the thing is I couldn't choose one song because it's a concept album.
Oh.
So the entirety of the album tells one story. It's from 2016. It's the House of Heroes album called Colors.
Oh, I remember this album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. And I couldn't choose one because it does. It's a concept album, so it's telling the story of a guy returning to his hometown.
I'm going to do the same thing.
So it's so good.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cheat.
You gotta.
So
if I do it, you have to.
Okay, good.
And then I think I'll go with a soundtrack. The one that sticks out to me right now is not by Hans Zimmer, surprisingly.
Wow.
It's by, why can't I think of his name? Alan Silvestri.
Oh.
It's the specific track called Portals from Avengers Endgame. And this is the moment with the portals.
Yeah.
On your left.
Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It gives me chills every time I listen to it. It's so good.
That's awesome.
It's so good. The build up in it is ridiculous. And then you have that moment where like, even when you're just listening to it, not watching it, you hear Chris Evans say, Avengers Assemble. And then it breaks into the Avengers theme and it makes me want to run across the field.
Exactly. I got it, man. I'm with you. So we got Silhouettes, we got a whole album.
Yep.
And then we have Portals.
Done.
I'll give you my next 2. Which means we'll take us top 2.
Yeah. Okay.
So I Was Wrong by Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites. It's a no-name track. It's not one of his famous ones. Chris Stapleton, I believe, is a great lyricist with incredible talent.
I've never listened to him.
Oh my gosh, dude, you gotta listen to him. You gotta check him out. I know he's a little twangy for you.
That's a good word.
There's a live recording at a talent, like kind of at a festival that he does of this song. And it might be some of the best display. I mean, I can't even try to sing the songs. But all it basically was, it's I Was Wrong, and it's a close tie. I want to almost put 2 songs here, and then Sometimes I Cry. Both of those are just incredible songs. The album that I'm going to throw in there is in the next one, and it's Bethel's Without Words.
Okay.
It is similar to what you were saying with the other, the Heroes one. I could listen to that soundtrack nonstop. Mm-hmm. Like it flows. And if you know, Bethel writes worship music like crazy.
Yeah.
But this is an album they wrote with just instruments and a typewriter. Mm-hmm. And so they have this typewriter in a lot of the album that's supposed to talk about, and the album's called Without Words, but it's this idea that music carries meaning and just the power of the flow. And it's not even classical songs or anything. These are just you know,
Yeah, they're
a lot of their own
a
expression.
lot of them are instrumental versions of worship songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but they have this like tone and rhythm.
Yeah,
and
they're not what you. It's not like they just took the instruments from It's
no,
not like
no,
a backing track.
No.
They completely redid them, revamped them,
and it is just, it's one of those albums that I forget about and then I get back onto it and I'm like, why did I stop listening to this?
Mm-hmm.
This is just so good. When I do like prayer and stuff like that, that's the type of thing that I like to have in the background because I feel like it elevates kind of my concentration and stuff. So there it is. I would actually put Sometimes I Cry as the one, not I Was Wrong. Sometimes I Cry. I think that's the one I was thinking of rather than I Was Wrong, but both of those are great songs. He writes incredible songs. Tennessee Whiskey, of course, is the one he got famous for. I think it's a good song, but it's not even his best song.
Yeah.
By any means.
I get that.
So there's the next two for me. So you got two more coming down the pipeline.
Man.
I know.
This is, I feel like I'm going to get done with this. This is going to come out, and then Malia's going to text me and be like, what about these songs?
Yeah. Oh, dude. 100%. I'm already worried because I don't have my number one.
I'm going to be like, you're absolutely correct. you are totally right.
Yep.
Man.
Dude, this is so tough.
Stupid hard. Man, I'll go back. Need to Breathe.
Ooh, see? Yep.
2009 released an album called The Outsiders, which was my favorite album for a hot minute. Man, it's even really hard to just pick one off that. I would say probably Garden from that album. It's very good. Just referencing the Garden of Gethsemane. Right?
Yep.
But yeah, just a very open and raw prayer to be to have our will subjected to His. It's really good.
I knew you were gonna have some worship songs in here, and I was
that's
worried.
Not even a worship song,
but no, but I mean, like knew you were gonna have a couple, but I do think that those inspirational songs like that have deeper.
I haven't had a worship song on here yet. I'm trying not to. Actually.
Well, you had Shane and Shane.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
Shane's on there.
I've never heard anybody play that.
No. You're right. But that whole album is pretty.
Oh, no doubt. It's. Oh man.
Like, so see, here's what I struggle with. Yeah, I have all these like nostalgic songs,
dude,
that pop into my head. That I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did I leave that off of there? Because like there's some Shane and Shame songs that I like. Oh my gosh, I need to put that on there. But like honestly, like there's just I can't not put NF on my top 10 list right now.
Yeah,
and it's not because I think NF deserves to be on there. It's my personal top 10.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. And so because of that, he does. And I Miss the Days off his last The Search album in 2019.
Okay.
It's all about this concept of wanting to go back to when your mind and your body and your heart wasn't broken of its innocence, and wanting to go back to where the simple things of life made you happy and like could actually bring true joy. And he talks about anxiety and fear and worry. And I know in 2020, I Miss the Days just seems like a narrative a lot in my mind.
Yeah.
And right now it's a song that I continually go back to and listen to. And it has nothing to do with pride or wanting to prove or wanting to, it's just everything to just go like, man, I feel like the reality of today has kind of snuck in and stolen a little bit of it. So that song, I guess today, right now, is elevated to number 2.
I get that.
All right. What's your number 2?
I haven't done number.
Oh, you haven't done number 3.
I haven't number 3 yet.
I didn't count.
Which I
count poorly.
I'm gonna go on to "Murder in the City" by the Avett Brothers or Avett Brothers.
I've heard that song. I think one time.
It's one that I go back to a lot. It's this really like. I mean, it's right there. Like the opening line of the song is, "If I get murdered in the city," and so it's just like a look of like what he wants to happen. If he just randomly dies.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's just like almost a love letter to his family and like, just like looking over the way life would be. Like,
that's so sad.
It's really sad, but it's really sweet and really like poignant. And I really like it a lot. Number 2, my last two are going to be Colony House songs. Number 2 is The Hope Inside, which is the very last song on Leave What's Lost Behind, their most recent album. And it's all because of these lyrics towards the end that are just beautiful, and that they just like hit something inside of me every time I hear them. But they sing, "We are the flowers that are ready for rain, waiting for the water to restore what remains. Wilted hearts harmonized together in pain, singing hallelujah while we wait." And there's more to it, but like that stanza just kills me. It's just like,
yeah, dude,
we're all in this together, just waiting for something, and like I love it. Yeah, there's number 2, Hope Inside.
The Hope Inside, number 2. So my number 1 song is what we're waiting on.
Yeah.
I think John Foreman is the only lyricist that I know would be on par with some of the people that you would like. I think John Foreman writes incredible stuff.
He's good.
Oh, dude, I love his. So my number 1 song is "Your Love Is a Song."
Okay.
By Switchfoot, and it has a similar chorus to what you just talked about. There's the opening to the song, "Your Love." I'm going to tell you the song lyrics. I just want to read the beginning of it because I don't want to get it wrong. It just says this: "I hear you breathing in. Another day begins. The stars are falling out. My dreams are fading now, fading out. I've been keeping my eyes wide open. Your love is a symphony. It's all around me, running through me. Your love is a melody underneath me, running to me. Your love is a song." There's been just waves in my life where I have felt that kind of intentional hope of trying to just latch myself onto something that has deeper meaning than my own success or my own production or like deep pain. And this was a song that when it came out, originally I think it was like 2013 or 2010. I forget how old this song is.
I got nothing. Hurricane 2008.
No, it's
maybe
older than that. It's got to be like 2008. Yeah. 2010. Okay, 2010. So, it was just a song that when I got married and then I had just different things that I was going through and life was just hard, it was a song that I felt like perfectly voiced what I was trying to do. And what I felt like I went through just waves of pain or hurt or misunderstanding or doubt. I just saw the beauty in even where I had to move across the country or things were out of my control or whatever, that God's love was still at work behind the scenes, and that I felt like it was still in me. So it has deep personal meaning, as well as that band itself, Switchfoot, was a part of my kind of colony house, I would say, through my early teens or late teens, early 20s. It was the band that I knew all their music. I love their heart. I love John Foreman. I love his brother. I love what they do for the world. So that would be this standpoint.
Cool.
My number 1 song.
What's been my number 1 song for a while?
I was gonna say
it's since January, which is a pretty good record for me.
I mean, it's a pandemic year. That's impressive because there's a lot of time that you've had.
Yeah. It's a song called "Why Even Try" by Colony House, and I think it's just because I relate to it a lot. Which you could listen to it and think Jed is majorly depressed. And would you be wrong?
It's a pandemic year, man.
I think it's a progression in a song, and it's ridiculously well just laid out and orchestrated, where they write and beginning of this song, it literally starts in a place where I think something that we can all relate to, of just like everything that I ever do seems to go all right for a minute, and then it just dies and it crashes and burns and complete failure. And so why even try? Like why? if everything we do just fails, why give it a shot?
I say that about cleaning our house all the time.
But as the song progresses, it ends in a place of like, yes, life is really hard, but we were never meant to do it by ourselves. So why even try? And it's ridiculously good. There's a line in there. I listened to this song several times and enjoyed it, and it was great. But there was a moment when I actually heard this line, and it stopped me in my tracks. Like it made me literally stop what I was doing. It says, "Everyone fears that they're not enough, but I'm just afraid that it's permanent, that I'm permanently broken." And then it goes on to say, just like all of the doubts, all the lies, all the tears you've cried are too heavy to carry alone. So why even try?
No. So, and then everybody reads that and they're like, so I've become so numb.
Oh, jeez. ruined the moment there, bro.
Sorry. But I mean, it's just, I agree with you. There is a part of you that can read that with the attitude of it's suicide, or there's a part that can read you and go, you need to reach out.
Yeah.
And I hope that's if you're listening to that song, right?
Exactly.
Reach out. Because I think that would be the intended.
Well, originally, like,
purpose.
so the whole album is just about hope. And like it starts with a song called Looking for Some Light, and just how that's the line in it is everybody's looking for some light. Everybody's looking for something to reveal the darkness, to chase away the darkness.
Silhouettes.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a running theme for them. So that's the whole album, is they're just talking. They kind of start in a little bit of a darker place. And then, and so the first few times listening through it, I was like, oh, this is just like the middle point of the album. It's the dark moment. It's, but then I realized it's also the turning point. It's where they start looking at, there's hope. And they end with that song, The Hope Inside. And it's very that stuff. They're so intentional with their,
man. Hey, I get it completely. Honorable mentions, anything that's popping into your head that you're like, man, because I got Project 86 in my head that
I've got like Relient K. And
dude, Relient K.
That was my childhood.
I have a song by Blindside called When I Remember.
I don't know that one. I know Blindside, but I don't know that song.
Absolutely love the song. It's got a great story. It almost made the list. Again, like there's a ton of songs that when, like DC Talk and Newsboys and stuff that I grew up with that I wanted, to put in there, but I just doesn't anymore make the top 10 of what I would listen to.
True.
And I think the struggle for me was more soundtracks than anything. Cause like I wanted to include a couple more of just like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like La La Land.
Yeah.
I would like that's an incredible soundtrack that I listen to a lot, and it's beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
I really
kind of stumbled through it.
I think we did, but at the same time, I think
my lack of preparation.
I didn't really have a ton either. It's more of like, I think it's healthy that I hope people that if you're still listening, put your top 10 in there. Like, let us see it.
Yeah.
Tell us where Jed's wrong.
Here's the thing. Just go listen to Colony House. You'll find out I'm right. No, I was a little surprised when a few weeks ago you said you kind of laid out a few things that you wanted to do. One of them was top 10 books. My sister Malia and my mom, both within a week, I think, texted me a top 10 list of books.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we have a couple others. Okay. See, that to me is exciting because that is going to be a fun episode. We'll have to do that in a little bit. I know that we have a couple things coming through down the pipeline. I hope the sports one, of course, actually happens. I know you're dreading that one, but I'm going to make you do it. And I'll bring you pizza or something again. And we'll have fun. But I also hope that we can do the top 10 book thing. Yeah. But then I also want to do some fun things where like we talk about, maybe favorite sermon, favorite scripture. Like we walk through just like favorite influencer, whatever we can get through. I thought that would be fun to. Now, my dad's famous statement is there's only two things that influence your life. It's the people you meet and the books you read, because the books you read are the people you have never met. Yeah. And so top influencer.
My dad's favorite statement is, let me get this right. I can do whatever I want because I'm a winner, and winners do what they want.
Shake and bake. Shake and bake. You're not first or last. Hear that, Ricky Bobby? All right. This has been a fun episode. Again, put your top 10. I want to see it. Do you have any critiques of ours? You want to
keep them to yourself.
School Jed on what Steppenwolf is and like help him understand what Magic Carp.
Dude, Steppenwolf is a villain from DC Comics. I know.
Okay. So all right. You guys have a great and glorious day in the Lord. We'll see you later.